Phuoc Thai Province, South Vietnam, 1968, 4 men, moving through jungle so thick you couldn't see the man in front of you, faces painted black and green, weapons wrapped in cloth, breathing controlled, footsteps silent, 6 hours of movement without a single sound, and somewhere ahead in the darkness was a Viet Cong officer, alive, walking. The Australian SAS wanted him that way. 1966. America had 500,000 soldiers in Vietnam. Helicopter gunships, napalm, B-52 bombers, and they were losing. Not the battles, the war. The American strategy had a name: search and destroy, find the enemy, kill them, count the bodies. Body counts reported up the chain of command. Body counts that became press releases. Body counts that became proof the war was being won. But here is what nobody wanted to say out loud. A dead enemy soldier tells you nothing. He cannot tell you where his unit moves tomorrow. He cannot tell you which village supplies the Viet Cong. He cannot tell you where the weapons are buried. He cannot tell you the next target. A dead soldier is a number on a report. A living soldier is a map. The Australians understood this from day one. The traditional role of the Australian SAS was deep reconnaissance, penetrating enemy territory to collect intelligence on unit identifications, strengths, capabilities, movements, and intentions. Not body counts, intelligence. And sometimes, snatch patrols were mounted with the specific intention of capturing a prisoner alive for interrogation. Snatch patrols, 4 or 5 men, going deep into enemy territory, not to kill, to capture. Now think about what that actually requires. Killing is loud, fast. It ends the problem in front of you. Capturing someone alive in enemy territory is something else entirely. You have to get close enough to grab a man before he fires, silence him before he shouts, subdue him without leaving a blood trail, move him through kilometers of jungle while his entire unit searches for him, and get out, all of you, including the man who does not want to go with you. In 6 years, the Australian and New Zealand SAS conducted nearly 1,200 patrols in Vietnam, 492 enemy killed, 11 prisoners captured alive. That number sounds small, until you understand what capturing 11 men alive in hostile jungle actually costs. Each one required weeks of planning. Each one required moving a small team deep into territory where discovery meant death. Each one required getting within arm's reach of an armed enemy soldier without being detected first. The Americans noticed, and they were confused. American commanders had been taught a simple equation: contact equals firepower, firepower equals kills, kills equal progress. American operations were large, loud, visible from kilometers away. Helicopters landing, companies of soldiers moving through open terrain. The jungle knew Americans were coming before they arrived. The Viet Cong melted away every time, into tunnels, into villages, into the trees. And when the Americans left, they came back. Every single time. The Australians operated in 4 and 5 man patrols, moving more slowly than conventional infantry. That detail matters more than anything else. The American instinct was speed, aggression, firepower. The Australian instinct was patience. Move slow, watch everything, touch nothing, be invisible. They called it living like the enemy. No deodorant, because the enemy can smell it from 20 meters. No cooking fires, because smoke travels further than sound in dense jungle. Equipment wrapped in cloth, because metal reflects light. Movement only during morning bird song, because silence stands out. They studied the jungle until they understood what normal sounded like. And then they moved only inside that normal, for days at a time, invisible. The snatch operations were the most dangerous missions the SAS conducted. First, identify the right target, not just any soldier, an officer, a courier, a political cadre, someone carrying real intelligence. That required weeks of prior reconnaissance, watching the same path every day, mapping patterns, recording timings, identifying routines, then the approach, then the grab, then the extraction. All of it in darkness, all of it in silence, all of it with the enemy within earshot. The extractions were brutal. The SAS frequently clashed with enemy forces and had to fight their way out. Many extractions were carried out under direct fire. Imagine moving through 2 kilometers of dense jungle at night with a man who is fighting you every step, his unit searching behind you, your team absorbing fire from the flanks. And the mission is not complete until he is on a helicopter, alive. The Americans who worked alongside the Australians came away changed. The Australian Patrol Doctrine, the Recondo School, was passed directly to American Special Forces, because what the Australians were doing worked. The body count strategy had a flaw that could not be fixed with more firepower. Every time an American operation killed civilians by mistake, the Viet Cong gained 10 new recruits from the grieving families. The harder America hit, the deeper the enemy embedded into the population. The Australians in Puak Tue province operated differently, intelligence first, always. Know exactly where the enemy is before you move. Know exactly how many, exactly what they carry, exactly where they are going, then act with precision. The Battle of Long Tan proved what that approach produced. A single Australian company, outnumbered more than 10-1, killed 245 Viet Cong. 18 Australians died. That outcome was only possible because the SAS had been watching that area for weeks. Commanders knew what was coming before it arrived. By 1971, when the last Australian SAS squadron left Vietnam, the numbers told a story military historians still study today. 580 Australian SAS soldiers, 1,200 patrols, 1 killed in action, the highest kill ratio of any Special Forces unit in the entire war. 1 man lost in direct combat in 5 years. In the most dangerous jungle warfare of the 20th century, the Americans lost 58,000 soldiers, 500,000 troops at peak strength. They could not pacify a single province. The Australians held Phuoc Tue with a fraction of that force, not by killing everything that moved, by knowing exactly what was moving, and why, and where it was going. 11 prisoners taken alive. Each one represented weeks of planning. Each one represented a patrol that could have ended in death. Each one represented a deliberate choice to bring someone back alive, when killing them would have been faster, easier, safer. That discipline is what separated the Australians, not the body count, not the hardware. The understanding that in a war you cannot win with bullets alone. The most powerful weapon is information, and information only talks when it's still breathing.